It is Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Kicking Out podcast. I'm Paul Zartman. We got Tanner Lee, the quote-unquote KOP predictions champion. I still think Austin Shepard got robbed of that. But we are here. We are covering yet another amazing night of AEW wrestling. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, Paul. It was a wild episode of Dynamite. Surprise after surprise tonight.
The surprises I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Does that make it even bigger surprise?
I mean, there was some,
Yes.
there was two of them I was really scratching my head at. So,
Yeah. Well,
got people talking. So,
3 hours before the show, Wrestling Inc. said, there's a surprise tonight. AEW fans will think it's huge. Normal wrestling fans will think it's meh. They were kind of right.
yeah. Well, Brian Alvarez hyped it up today on Wrestling Observer Live, where he said there was going to be, something huge was going to happen tonight. So I'm like, okay. So right away I'm thinking, all right, the Elite, they're returning, but that's too obvious, right? So I don't know. You can debate what was huge tonight, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. We'll do that later. How about that?
All right.
We'll end the podcast debating which was bigger. All right. We want to jump right into this tonight, guys, or Chef, are you going to take us down any rabbit holes before we even get started?
Nah, usually you got to get a little bit of mojo going first before I divert on a detour.
All right. Well, we are set for a good show tonight, so let's get right into it with Darby Allin taking on Jay Lethal. There was a decent amount of back and forth in this match. Of course, Darby Allin started attacking immediately before the bell even rang. But did not come up with the win. At the end, Jay Lethal connects with the lethal injection, gets the win. I don't know if I'd say a big win, because Darby's been on a kind of back and forth, I won, I didn't win type of role here lately.
Yeah, Darby's in a weird spot. I've said that for about a month or 2 months. He's in a weird spot with the company right now. I mean, we're not seeing Sting by his side, which is part of the storyline, of course, right now. But I don't know. I feel like he's kind of lost some of his momentum in the second half of this year. But I don't know. It was a fine match. I mean, there's a reason it started the show. After the post-match actions is the reason it started the show. Because I'm like, interesting choice when he came out. I'm like, I didn't expect this one to start the show tonight. I honestly thought it'd be Jericho and the surprise opponent would start the show. But
yeah. And go ahead, Shep.
No, like, I really enjoyed Darby tonight. Like, I've been down on him of late, but I thought it was a really good showing from him and a much needed win from Lethal.
right.
One of my favorite spots was Darby bouncing off with the Tropecita. That was amazing. Darby. Yeah. And again, Darby's not going to live past 36 at this point, but I mean, that was a hard hit he took. But I liked it. It got them thrown away from ringside. I'm not a Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh fan at all. I like Jay Lethal in the right spot. So I thought that was a good part of the match. I enjoyed this match. I really did. I didn't like the end. Let me rephrase that. I didn't like after the pin.
Okay.
And it's not because of Jeff Jarrett. Who the hell is Cole Carter?
I was right there with you.
Fake Sting.
It was he's a guy who's been on Dark and Elevation a bunch, but the crowd was just like all of us, like dead.
Yeah.
Dead silence. Like, here we go again. AEW's bringing somebody out for a big reaction that they don't get it because nobody knows who they are.
Now, take him out of the segment and add Double J. I love the outlaw gimmick he's doing.
I do too.
For his age,
he looks like $1 million right now.
Yes.
God.
I think I can get behind a Sting Darby tag match versus Lethal Jarrett.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Lethal and Jarrett have some history with the Ric Flair last match. I like that. Like that could be a heck of a match.
Yep.
And it could sell some tickets. It could sell some pay-per-views. But again, might as well throw Cole Trickle in there instead of Cole Carter.
I know. It's Double J saved this for me. I mean, that popped me because I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, if there's a promotion out there that's semi-big, Jarrett showing up and collecting his paycheck. The dude is a businessman. Conrad Thompson tweeted tonight, if a cat has 9 lives, Jeff Jarrett has 10. Because, I mean, I did not see this coming. I mean, in 1 year, he's been GCW, WWE, AAA, Ric Flair's last match, and AEW. All in 1 year. And the year's not over yet.
I mean, the only thing you have left is Impact.
Yeah, and he's been there, done that. He's run the company. He's owned the company. But I mean, he's also, besides those companies I just listed, I mean, if he's performed in NWA in the past, WCW, AWA, New Japan. The guy's done it all, and he can still talk on the mic. He's so easy to hate. I'm all for it. I think it's cool.
He's a great heel.
Yep.
And like I said, you take Cole Trickle out of this thing, I'm in. Yep. I enjoy this finish. I noticed, I don't know if anybody caught this, and I catch all the weird stuff. I get it. But guitar shot, laid out, Double J's starting to talk. Sanjay Dutt is kneeled in the corner, and he's talking to somebody. He's talking to somebody off camera, and he's pointing to the pool of blood that Darby has. Now, obviously, this thing cut him, I'm guessing, natural way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think Sanjay was letting him know that this was a little bit bigger than normal. I don't know if maybe just be that.
Oh, yeah.
But
I caught that.
It didn't seem like anybody was too dark excited. It went on for another 2-3 minutes.
It's just Darby. It's just Darby. He'll be okay.
I mean, he props to Darby there at the end too, because
just laid there.
When the camera panned to him the last time, it almost looked like the dude wasn't even breathing anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they obviously changed the top ring pad because you didn't see that spot of blood for the rest of the night. But
yep.
What I also loved is I loved that Double J said choke on that slap nuts on TNT. And they played the My World theme, which I love that theme song. I think it's a great one. So that took me right back to watching Impact on Fox Sports 1 before it was even on Spike TV. So I loved it. That was good.
Yeah. And, of course, I like how Double J's quick to call out Tony Schiavone. Because, they have plenty of history together.
Sure. Well, Taz even commented like, why am I involved in this? I got no beef. Taz is hilarious on commentary. His little one-liners and his feedback are great. Yeah,
Taz has turned into one of the best commentary guys around.
Their commentary booth has went up levels since they moved JR to Rampage and Taz to Dynamite, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you've got Excalibur, who I think talks faster than Speedy Gonzalez some days because the dude rambles things off way too quickly.
Take off the mask.
Man with a mask.
So dumb.
William Regal loves him, literally.
Yeah, if he took off the mask, what would Regal talk about?
It is entertaining just to hear what he's going to say.
Put the mask back on?
Yeah.
Hey, I could go to a Dynamite 2-man booth with Shivani and Taz and be completely satisfied.
I do like the what Ian brings to the table on ROH.
Yes, I think and I think I've said it in podcasts in the past. Mm-hmm. Rick Abani is good.
He's real good. If
you replace the Mask Boy with him, man, that's a strong 3-man crew. Stronger. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's up there with. It's up there with JR and King.
Yeah.
I mean, how many years did we all love JR and King? It was amazing.
Oh, they were the best.
Yeah.
A little bit different time.
Right.
Different product. But those guys were amazing together. They had chemistry together. I think, I know Taz and Shivani have chemistry. Rick Abani, I think, could work with anybody. Mm-hmm. that'd be tough as nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after Double J gets done telling everybody when he's done with this place, there will be body bags and people can choke on that, slap nuts. We get a shot of John Moxley backstage addressing his opponent tonight. He says Lee Moriarty has any revenge boiling. If Lee Moriarty has any revenge boiling in him, now would be the time to bring it to the surface, as he wants him to be violent. And then it looks like we're going to cut to commercial break as we get a picture of the trios tournament with the Young Bucks winning the tournament. And then it is quickly paused and replaced with footage from the Death Triangle winning the trios match. And then the graphic is shown with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega being replaced by Death Triangle. And then again, we get everything burns out, kind of fizzles out to the AEW graphic, and then fades to black.
I liked it. I thought it was unique. I thought it was cool using the software, the editing software like that. This has got to lead to Trio's title match of Full Gear, right? Between Death Triangle and Elite. It's got to be, I think.
I don't know. I think that's where we're going, or maybe we're going to see a different version of the Elite when they come back.
Well, that could be too. But say this is leading towards a match between the two teams at Full Gear. If you guys had the pencil, do you debut them the Go Home Dynamite or on Full Gear itself?
Yeah, you debut them on cable television.
I agree.
Yep,
I agree.
And if you're going to repackage them, which I'm not against, okay, they could stand a refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely debut that on some free television and hopefully get an extra couple buys out of that when it comes to the pay-per-view. So business standpoint, free television, rebrand them.
And I was thinking about this the other day. It was after we did last week's podcast. I know it's unfortunate how they all got their time off, but time off might be a blessing for at least the Bucks. They haven't really had time off for a while. Kenny did, of course, with his injury. I mean, that was kind of too bad. We barely got him back before he had to take another hiatus. But this could be a blessing in disguise for these guys, character-wise.
Yeah. And, I mean, commentary even mentioned that Kenny might not be 100% and might have come back too early. So
Right.
this few extra weeks, couple months, whatever we want to call it, might have helped him.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
But
it'll be good to get them back on TV, all three of them.
Yeah, and I mean, last week, because of the way the footage was done and everything, we talked about the fact that maybe the Bucks were saying, and Kenny was saying, without AEW or without us, there is no AEW. But what if that was their clue that they're rebranding the Elite? Because they're never referred to as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega in the videos that they're fizzling out in. They're referred to as the Elite.
It's true. Good catch.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just my thought. All right. Up next, we got John Moxley versus Lee Moriarty in a world title eliminator.
Green hair.
It was blue a couple weeks ago, and now it's green, and I don't know. Wasn't surprised with this outcome at all. Moxley picks up the victory. Anytime TK says, here's a world champion eliminator match,
yep,
the champion's winning.
Right.
It doesn't make
any
sense.
Until one day he doesn't. And then that's going to be the big swerve that they've built. But, these two have a little history. Of course, Lee Moriarty was always mentioned when the Blackpool Combat Club was getting formed as a potential member. So Moxley wanted him to bring it tonight, wanted to hit him with some heart-stiff shots. That was kind of the story of the match. But in the end, Moxley gets the win, but it was the actions after the match, which kind of was the story.
Yeah. By the way, I liked Ethan Page on commentary.
He's good at
everything.
everything.
Pretty good job.
I think he's good at everything. He can talk. He can wrestle. He deserves a push.
Yep. Post-match, Ethan Page hits the ring, lays out the AEW World Champion as Page is confirmed for an upcoming Eliminator tournament. I'm kind of starting to get behind the firm, guys.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I'm not gonna get behind. I'm not gonna get behind their little short guy there.
Stokely?
No, the little short guy, Shep's favorite guy.
No,
but Paige, I'm behind Paige. I've always liked Paige.
One
She's
guy.
a fantastic guy.
One guy.
The overall storyline that they're telling with the firm is, I guess, more of what I'm saying, because they want to do this "we're taking over" storyline, and that's what you're seeing. We tried to see this with the Pinnacle, it failed. We tried to see this with the thing that MJF did before the Pinnacle, it failed. It's finally happening, and that's what I'm excited about.
If they're taking over, Moriarty would have went over tonight.
Well, okay. The attempted takeover. How about that?
The best part of that match tonight was when the crowd got distracted when Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens walked in, and there was an MVP chant. And I think it was Shivani, or was it Matt?
Taz said,
"Oh, they're MVP for Moxley." Like, no. Lamar Jackson just walked in the building in the middle of the match, and it distracted 95% of the crowd, and because the match sucked.
It distracted me too, because I'm on Twitter like, who just walked in? Because the whole crowd rose up and then it chanted MVP. I'm like, where are they tonight? And then it clicked Baltimore. I'm like, that's got to be Lamar then, right? And then they say Lamar Jackson. So I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And nothing against, I'm a Moxley fan. I've stated that. I know some people in the professional wrestling business aren't. I'm a Moxley fan. He sells me. That's me personally, though. Okay, but tonight against Lee Moriarty, I could give two you-know-whats.
Yeah, no.
And I was distracted like the crowd, and I'm wondering who in the heck just walked in the building. You could see them. They were hard camera walking down the aisle. And, they had to. I think the following commercial break, they came back and showed a picture of Lamar sitting front row with some other Ravens players.
Mm-hmm.
That was a highlight of that match. And you got your world champion in that match. Like, I hated it. I hated it. I hate the firm. I hate that. Gosh darn it.
I got Shep fired up tonight.
It is. Why are you using your world champion on the second freaking match of the night in a worthless? What happened if he got hurt tonight? What happened if he got injured in that match tonight? You screw up your plans for the next 30 days.
Well, here's what I don't like about it, Shep. And I was talking to Paul about this before we started recording, before you joined us. No MJF this week. Okay, I can kind of buy into that because he got beat down, slammed through a table last week by Morrissey. But Moxley took a pretty good beating too, and he was on tonight. So why not? Right? I guess if you take him and MJF off, that's a lot of star power you're losing for a week. But
which we got Blah face Morrissey later on.
See, now I think he's the other guy I can get behind. I can get behind him and Paige.
I could, but the way they've used him in AEW so far, I mean, the guy hadn't said.
No, yeah.
His facial expressions are awful. He looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay? The best he's ever looked, even going back in the NXT days. I mean, the guy looks like $1 million. He's chiseled. I like it. He's athletic. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just using him awful right now. So, yeah, the way they used him, you should have had an MJF appearance towards the end. By the way, the poster of the night was MJF drives a convertible in the buff. For the poster of the night. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think Acclaim saw it. And they liked it.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten to the Acclaimed yet, Chef. Hold on.
I know that was that. We were talking about MJF poster. I thought it was funny.
All right. Up next, we headed to a video that was shot earlier today as Renee interviews Soraya.
I didn't even pay attention to this. I couldn't even tell you what she said. I was scrolling through my phone.
I'm sorry. She didn't look like the person she was when she debuted. Now, yes,
she's had a lot of work done, Paul.
Right.
She's had a lot of work done. Just come out and say it.
We're talking about her neck, right? Like working on her neck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Shep, I think she was trying to get you to look at some of the work because her hands were all the whole interview. This is where her hands were.
I was just trying to make sure her neck looked healthy. I'm worried about her well-being.
Okay. Yeah, she might have some back problems later on in life. Renee asks her towards the end. Renee asks her towards the end if she's medically cleared. She says, I was going to do this week, but I want to get things cleared by one more doctor. Okay, Baker.
Her and Britt at Full Gear. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made it sound like she wasn't clear, but I think we know enough reports that she is clear.
Right.
Obviously, the other doctor is brilliant. I mean, I want to see this match. I want to see Sarai back, and I hope behind the scenes she's training and getting that ring rust off because that is the real deal.
Right.
We've seen it with other stars in the past, so.
Yeah, you want her first return match to be a pay-per-view. You don't want to waste that on cable.
And I mean, I'm an old guy. I'm older than both of you probably combined.
Hey now.
Yeah.
You're only like 2 or 3 years older than me.
I know.
5.
I was trying to give you a compliment, Paul. Take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like in between both of you here, so
but
I'm 5 years older than Shep or 5 years younger than Shep and 5 years older than Tanner.
But there's not one women professional wrestler we've ever seen work a match with like 47-inch nails that Sarai had on tonight.
Good point.
That's why she couldn't, she couldn't point. She whipped her hands up.
I'm just saying, like, little things like that. Just, I know I'm probably nitpicking, and everybody's gonna say, "Well, you're an idiot," which, good point. But I'm just saying, like, in reality, whether professional wrestling is predetermined or not, you cannot put somebody in an athletic contest with 4-inch nails. I mean, there goes an eyeball.
Yeah. Bad things are going to happen.
Or
you're asking for
it. You don't need it pierced.
You're asking for a bad accident to happen.
Right. So to me, it just takes some of the believability out of it.
Yeah,
that's all.
Fair. No, I think that's a good criticism.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Again, I want to see Sarai back. I think she's a hell of a performer. She's a great talker, and I would love to see this match. I really would.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be really close to Britt and Thunder Rosa when they freaking stole that Dynamite with the
St. Patrick's. They slam with that
the death match or whatever.
Lights Out 2020.
I mean,
that was great.
Still one of my favorite AEW matches of all time.
Yeah, I gave that my match of the year, I believe, didn't I, Paul? That year,
I think you did
last year. Mm-hmm.
So again, a ton of potential. Just I don't know, just polish it up a little bit. That's all.
We got what from the Saturday.
3 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah, 2 weeks from Saturday.
So they got to start getting it going. They got to give me a little more in this feud.
Mm-hmm. We'll see it next week.
Do you have a no? Never mind. I thought I should second guess myself. Almost thought. Do you have a tag match to the week before just to make sure she can do it or
no?
Keep it all behind the scenes.
Yep. Up next, Tony Schiavone is shown backstage with Regal, and Regal says that after last week, MJF showed that he has potential, but he has a long way to go before being a true villain. He doesn't think potential will help him be a champion when he has to face a real demon in Jon Moxley.
So I was also thinking about this since we recorded last week. Could you guys see Regal turning on Blackpool at Full Gear and aligning himself with MJF?
Maybe.
With the way the story's been laid out?
We'd have to get a true confirmation that MJF is completely done with the firm, out on his own again, and not yet. Okay. Not yet. Give me the rematch, and then we'll do it.
Yeah, I don't see it right off the bat.
Because I still I'm just going back and forth. Like, I just don't think they're ready to pull the trigger on a full face MJF yet, even though the crowd wants it, and how last week's Dynamite ended. So he's got something up his sleeve, and I'm just trying to figure out what is it. I just hope it's not a lame. This was part of my plan with the firm all along for them attacking me. I hope it's not that. I hope it's something else.
Oh, it probably is.
Dude, I don't know. Do you get a? You can't get a. I don't know. There's so many options there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any BCC members costing the match. If you're going to do a full face MJF and give Mox his 6 weeks vacation that he was entitled to, I think Mox is professional enough, puts him over clean, and makes him the face. And the reason he's going to make him the face is during that match, the firm will try to get involved and MJF will stop him.
Yep.
If MJF stops him and still goes over clean, next thing you know, MJF's going to be a face the way he talks. And he will be no pun intended, he will be the face of that company at 25 years old now. Or is he still 24?
I think he's 26.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
That's still
young.
Still stupid young.
Yeah. So here's another thought. No, I'm going down the rabbit holes tonight, boys. So if MJF wins a title and say he becomes a face, even if it's low down the road, we've seen the Pinnacle kind of reform without MJF. But if he's a face and has a title, Wardlow has a title, FTR can get their titles. You could throw the All Atlantic title on Shawn Spears. You could have a full face, all title Pinnacle, kind of like Evolution 2.0, but faces.
Or
is it too soon? Too soon to revisit that?
Too soon. I really thought we'd see Shawn. I would rather see Shawn Spears tonight come out and save the Acclaim than FTR, or have him involved at some point.
Right. Yeah.
We got him, and then we haven't seen him.
It was just that one-off in Toronto. It seems like because he's from Canada.
So I
don't
know. I know he's got a child coming, so maybe I don't know.
Give him till the end of the year, first part of next year, he'll be back.
So listening to a lot of wrestling podcasts in the last couple of weeks. Some really old school guys, some modern day guys. There's one kind of agreement about AEW that their roster is too heavy. And I think sometimes when we have a show like tonight where we featured a lot of top talent, but we missed some talent that could be potentially top talent. I kind of I don't want them to go to a 3-hour show.
No.
I don't want it to be a Raw. I don't want it to be a Nitro back in the day. I think 2 hours is perfect. But I just think, I think we need to weed out some stuff. Just my opinion.
No, there are definitely some guys that when their contracts come up, they need to let them walk. One I can think of off the top of my head, and I think he's a very talented performer, is Lance Archer. They don't do anything with him anymore. One guy I wish they'd use more, and his wife has been outspoken about, is Miro. I don't know why he's not being used. That's the one that really drives me nuts. But yeah, I agree, Shep. I think the roster is top heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why Tony goes out and signs, Bandito and Juice Robinson. I mean, those are talents. If you can get them, you get them, and then you figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree. Their roster is very top heavy. There is lots of people on the roster, but that's why they need ROH to come out with the show. I mean, so
right?
You can feed some over there.
Fine. More AEW, less ROH in the stands. Did anybody see that tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's been a criticism of other podcasters, guys that have obviously way more experience in business than we do. They have talked about. So Yeah, we have to separate. Don't get me wrong. I thought the main event tonight was great.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that later. I think the Jericho Society versus ROH could be a great segment, but we don't need to see that on AEW right now. I think it's leading up to it where we could shift it to an ROH show.
Mm-hmm.
I think, the final battle is coming up in December 19th.
December
19th?
That was 3rd or 10th.
14th, whatever. It's in December. I think you'll see, obviously, you're going to see a heavy presence of AEW talent, which is fine at this point. But hopefully, first of the year, they make the transition of
11th.
Exactly. Not
I thought it was the 10th, so I was off.
But hopefully, they make the transition of first of the year, we have the ROH talent. And you can bring some younger talent that you have on Dark and Elevation into ROH. And then you have your Dynamite and Rampage. I think it's a good problem to have at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think we don't need 12 months of this. We put up with about 6 months of ROH, right?
Mm-hmm.
He bought it in April, I think.
April, so
March or April.
Yeah, after a couple the one pay-per-view, let's just go from June on. So, we're 6 months in, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't want to see Jericho on Dynamite.
Right.
Right.
Not that I could give or take Danny Garcia right now. But, make an appearance of both every once in a while could really help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how it started.
I really hope they announce a
rabbit
show.
Holes.
I'm guessing after their pay-per-view in December, we get an announcement about TV for them starting or streaming, whatever, starting 2023. That's my guess.
Well, streaming's got to be available, and we've talked about this on this show before. Big announcement: GCW just signed with Fight TV Plus.
Yeah.
For $4.99 a month. So for $5 a month, you can get every GCW pay-per-view live, plus their complete library.
Yeah.
And they run a minimum 2 shows a month.
Yeah.
Which usually cost $20 a show.
Yeah, it's a heck of a deal.
So to tell me there ain't streaming deals out there is Tony's got something in his pocket.
Fight Plus grabbed somebody else too, a different promotion yesterday also. I'm gonna look that up while we carry on, because now it's gonna bug me if I don't.
Well, you look that up, and we shall talk about Billy Gunn's birthday bash.
This had WWE written all over it.
Okay? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I loved Max Caster's stab at Elon Musk. I'm just saying.
Wrestling Revolver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they use a lot of Impact stars in the past, but anyways, that's beside the point. I know Sami Callihan was big on.
And Mox is appearing on their next show. So Swerve as well. So.
He can't appear on GCW anymore, obviously. So
right.
Even though Lauderdale said don't be surprised to see him back. So that's what he said on a interview with Sean Ross Sapp. So
I think that was that back to the GCW finish there with Mox and Gage. I think that was a stab for Gage to try to put himself over.
Yeah.
The bank addicted drug robber, as Cornette calls him, but whatever.
Yep.
Not that I don't dislike Gage, but
he's past his prime. It's
Gage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's popped a couple times, and we all like it. And anyways, what are we talking about? Fight TV Plus, right?
We were talking about Billy Gunn's birthday bash.
Talking about WWE birthday celebration written all over it.
Yeah, I kept waiting when they took off the towel, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the trophy. I figured Swerve would be sitting right there.
I figured it'd be the boogeyman with worms coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He is
we
back.
haven't done that in a few years, so. But one of my favorite things And I mean, this is why I agree. It had WWE written all over it. Bowen said he had guests planned, but 2 canceled at the last minute, and the rest weren't happy he didn't go to the reunion.
That popped Billy. Billy liked that.
It did. He even gave the chop, and the camera tried to switch quick from that.
No, which going back to that, there was an agreement that TK was all about it, right?
Oh yeah, he was gonna let him go, but they had to either show an AEW logo on the lower third, like when he came out, or just mention AEW, and WWE wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he'll play ball, which I love.
Yeah,
I love him play ball.
Yeah, I mean, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Well, in USA Network might have been again.
They might have said,
It might not have been a Triple H call. Might have been a network call.
It might have been.
Damn Cyrus, the network. Sorry,
you can't say ass on TV anymore.
Can't on TNT.
Scissor me.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the segment, Morrissey shows up after the Gun Club shows up and says, "We got you a gift."
Ass boys.
Because they weren't invited, even though it's their dad. And then Billy puts his arms around the Acclaimed. I like that part.
Yeah, that was funny.
After the Gun Club says, we got you a gift, Morrissey attacks. Then the Gun Club runs down. The 3 of them are beating up the 3 of them. Then FTR's music hits as they make the save. They grab a hold of the titles, and I went, "Oh, here we go!" And they just handed them over to the champs.
Is it just me though, but every week Cash and Dax are coming down the ramp, and they're ready to go, but they're thinking, "God damn it, we got to do another little run-in like this again. Like this is what they're giving us again." You can kind of see it on their face, like, "Come on."
Yeah, because they start coming out, and then it's just like that whole. All right.
Yeah, like kind of. Yeah.
Save the day.
Did anybody see the guy, hard camera, about 7-8 rows up, wearing a hockey jersey, completely bald?
Yes.
That dude looked great.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, FTR's in the stands tonight.
And he popped big. The camera went to him when FTR came down. So, yeah. I thought that was good.
And Dak's shirt tonight was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good shirt.
That was awesome.
What was I going to go with this? We're eventually you're going to have the Acclaimed and FTR, and it's going to be one of those crowds that's going to be split.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of going back to the John Cena WWE days, where half the crowd wanted Cena, half the crowd hated him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get that at some point, and I think it'll be a banger of a match.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of could get behind that one. Hopefully they don't put a Texas Tornado or a 3-way tag match and Swerve in Our Glory is in there and the champions don't take the pin type deal.
I think my prediction is Acclaimed, Swerve in Our Glory at Full Gear. That's where we see the split between Keith Lee and Swerve. And then you get your Acclaimed FTR feud going out of that, which you could do at Winter is Coming. You could wait clear to Revolution. That's a little ways away though. But I feel like when you do it, I think you got to pull the trigger on FTR. That's why I kind of like trying to wait till Revolution. Like give the Acclaim a few more months, and FTR takes it off.
FTR is hot right now.
So's Acclaim.
Even outside of AEW though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even though the Acclaim, the Scissor Me thing, I mean, they're doing the World Series right now. Like he was legit saying that. Like,
it happened. The Phillies.
Yeah. When that stuff starts hitting in pop culture, mainstream.
Phillies are down 5-0 right now. So.
Well, I knew the Astros. Yeah, I knew they were gonna swing back tonight. So.
I'm not a big Astros fan, but
Who is?
He's no hit through 7 1/3. So.
He's cruising. He's dealing.
Yeah. Up next, Baker's seen backstage with Tony Schiavone. She says she wasn't showing up to their party as she is sick of the conspiracy. Jamie Hayter just wants to wrestle, and Baker agrees as she tells AEW to find them a tag team to face.
Tony Schiavone's got a hell of a mullet. That's all I got out of this.
Yes, he does.
I was trying to
the sides just.
I was trying to decide who had the better mullet, the guy in the black truck or Tony Schiavone.
The guy in the black truck. His is curly though.
Well, yeah, but
Schiavone's is straight, and I think straight plays. I think if you go back into the mullet days in the 80s, I think it was all about straight. If you had curly hair, man, you worked too hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's got the better mullet, Tony or Cash?
Ooh.
Tony.
Cash is a little shorter right now.
Yeah.
I think he's growing for it, but it's a little shorter. Now, let's go back to your point of Black Truck versus Tony Schiavone. Who could be who would get kicked off the microphone faster by the FCC? Black Truck or Schiavone?
Black Truck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anybody that's watching this is not a local Rochester guy. Not going to get that one, but
nope. That's good.
We'll go.
Hey, you know, and then we're not giving him a true proper shout out either. So
Identity withheld.
Exactly. Up next, speaking of identity withheld, Chris Jericho in an ROH World Championship match against Unknown. Jericho comes down, says he's the best. He doesn't care who his opponent is, and blah, blah, blah. I'll take on anybody. I'll take on Lamar Jackson, who tries to hide from the camera.
Yeah, he didn't want to be on camera. He didn't like that.
I did like that, though. I did like that Jericho.
Yeah, and that's cool that I mean, that's one of NFL's biggest stars. I mean, back in the day on Raw, you always had the big athletes showing up. So,
well, yeah, and your big celebrities. Hence why David Arquette's now a former WCW champion.
God,
and got his neck cut open by Nick Gage.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna go there.
I will.
Jack Perry's dad saved him. So,
yeah.
Luke.
Yeah. But as we all sit around and wait to find out who the opponent is, we hear the famous boom boom. Colt Cabana is making his way to the ring, who looks like he's on the verge of crying.
Oh, he had tears in his eyes.
An emotional boom boom. Colt.
Yep. Which good for him. First time he's been on AEW TV in a long time, and that sound you heard, that was the final nail in CM Punk's AEW coffin.
That boom, boom. Yeah, that was getting the nail hammered in.
He done.
I was surprised at the decent pop he got.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was too. And as the match went on, they got behind him as a true face. And I tell you what, we haven't seen him in a while. He took the shirt off. Great shape. Guy looked good. I think there was one botch in the match.
Oh, that was a bad botch. They about hurt themselves on that. Yeah.
On the top rope deal.
Yeah.
Top rope. Yep.
But other than that,
But they recovered fine.
Yeah, they recovered fine. I thought the match was surprisingly good. I love I don't like Jake Hager. I hate the purple hat. I think he looks like a.
Did you see him after the match? Did you see on Twitter what happened to him after the match? I didn't catch it till on Twitter. When they walked up the ramp, he got either a hamstring cramp or a Charlie horse, and he fell to the ground and was basically dry humping the stage.
I thought that was just him doing it to be stupid.
No, I think he got a cramp.
I haven't seen Twitter since we went, but I'll look that up.
Oh yeah, you got to look it up after the show. It was classic.
There's a brief second that it's shown before
I think he just got one right in the back of the leg, and he went down like he was shot.
Which again, back to the match, like you said, I think Colt coming out with all the stuff said about Colt.
Yeah.
And Punk doing what he did.
Mm-hmm.
This is not root for the guy, right?
No, right.
This is TK's I'm sorry. You're not going to go over, but I'm sorry.
Oh, I also think it's a big F you to Punk. from TK. Like,
I think it's more of an FU to Punk than to get him over, because I think Cole has always been a guy that can get himself over.
Right.
He's got a little comedy in his matches. He's always done that. That Superman pin is amazing. I've always liked him back from Ring of Honor. It just works. He won the Ring of Honor television title with that right before Ring of Honor kind of disbanded. But I think it was great. Surprise. Not the surprise we wanted, which we talked about earlier. I think there was a guy with the last name of Hero that we kind of wanted.
Yep.
Tony.
Yeah, that got me good on Twitter. That stupid account gets me quite a bit. I got to be careful.
If you ever look at his name under it, it's like Tommy Customs.
Yeah. I just got real excited with the graphic, and I saw the profile pic, and then
but no, I thought this worked out well. Made Jericho look like Jericho. I like him going after the Ring of Honor, Ring of Jericho thing. The
Ocho reinvents himself again.
Yep, reinvents himself again. We get you make Colt Cabana look good, and at the end, I think it's a double bird to Punk. I really do.
I do too. I literally think Tony Khan's like, after a 7-year hiatus, I put not everything I had, but I put a ton of liability into you, ton of money, and this is how you repaid everything. This is how you ended it after a year.
I'm gonna make this guy look like $1 million.
Yep.
And I know Punk's stubborn. Obviously, if you look at his past, he's a stubborn SOB.
Yep.
Punk does not have 25% of the buying power that Tony Khan has. Right. So no matter what Punk does, I don't care if Punk gets a payout. I don't give a if he gets a settlement. It's not going to affect Tony Khan. It's not going to affect the Khan.
And I think if there was any way Tony could work this out and have Punk come back and not lose the locker room, I think he would, because there's so much creative-wise that they didn't do. That would have been great. I just don't. At this point, I don't think it's salvageable. It's not worth it. Spoiler's locker room so much better without him in it.
Right now, you got your two locker room leaders in Jericho and Mox, and it sounds like those guys have run through a brick wall for those.
Yep. So, and it sounded like Jericho confronted him. That was a report that came out last week. He confronted him after the fight and pretty much called him a cancer to the locker room. And Punk told him to get lost. You don't know what you're talking about. This doesn't involve you. And I mean, Jericho. Say what you want about Chris Jericho, but that dude has a history of standing up to people. He stood up to Bill Goldberg. He stood up to Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's not scared to get into it, a tussle with somebody that can legit beat his ass. He will go down swinging. So
he stands up for the business.
Yeah,
you got to respect.
Yep.
Now, on the negative side of this, you have the Bucks and Kenny coming back, which sounds like they had the locker room a little on the negative to downside. So when they come back in, are they still the EVPs? Are they still have some locker room control, or do you just, hey, your performers right now, Mox and Jarrett will have it?
I think that's kind of going back to those videos, the reinventing. Not only are we going to get to see something other than the elite as a group, they're not going to have the positions they have.
And I'm okay with that, because the reason I fell in love, but the reason I enjoy those guys so much back in the New Japan and the ROH days is they were performers.
They were workhorses.
Yeah, they went out and they put on a show, and they tried to steal every show they were on, whether they were the first match on or the last match. They were going to make you say, at the end of the day, man, the Bucks were awesome. Hey, Omega was awesome. That match, awesome. I'm so glad I paid the $29.95 or the $39.95 or whatever the hell I paid. That's what their job was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they lost a little bit of that when they were in the MVP role. Not saying Punk's a complete 100% wrong.
Right.
Now, his statements were wrong, but he could have gone about it a different way.
Yes.
So going back to that, yeah, bring him back, but maybe reinvent him. Maybe make him go against. Maybe make him go against the back end. I don't know what you call it, but anti-corporate, organization.
Mm-hmm.
There's some opportunity there, though.
Definitely.
There is.
And then after the match, and I know you're probably going to bring this up, Paul, we saw the JS get into it with the Blackpool Combat Club after they were going to attack Ian Riabody again and broke his glasses.
Again, poor guy. He's like,
I know.
on him glasses.
He just is trying to commentate. Jeez.
Which Jericho did put the glasses on, which that's going to be an internet meme all over the place because he stuck his tongue out while he did it.
Just like a little bit of the bubbly.
But I'm sorry, but I'm over this feud. JS Blackpool Combat Club. They've been feuding since May.
I'm over it on AEW, but it can work in Ring of Honor.
Yes, yeah,
right. Mox.
Yeah, because it looks like we're probably gonna get Jericho and Claudio at Full Gear, or if not Full Gear, then
Final Battle.
Yeah, that's probably where it's going. But I don't know. I'm just thinking like ever since the JS was formed, they've fought with Blackpool Combat Club. And I after last week, I thought maybe Blackpool Combat Club would get into it with the Firm.
Firm sucks. Sorry. I think there's some opportunity there with Ring of Honor versus the JA. Mm-hmm. So I like Claudio. Yuta, I know, is not a true ROH guy, but Claudio and Danielson are.
It was good to see Danielson get physical on TV tonight. So.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that when Sammy Guevara came out, he didn't really know what to do?
And everybody booed him big time.
Oh, yeah, not even that. He went to lock in a rear naked choke, ends up on top of the guy. I mean, he had no clue where he was going with anything he was doing.
He's probably counting his wife's OnlyFans subscribers by now.
Oh, I saw that she started that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She can't wrestle, so she might as well get paid somehow else.
Yep.
I like back to the Jericho Society, ROH. I think at going into Final Battle early December, we might get it at Full Gear. Briscoes versus 2.0.
God, I hope so. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Finally, 2.0 gets involved at some point at Full Gear, and finally we get some debuts of the Briscoes, and that leads to a tag match at Final Battle because you can't throw the Briscoes right back in the tag scene since they've been beat. But they got to be on that show because they're signed.
Yeah,
it's been confirmed. They've been laying kind of low. They beat Aussie Open at Hog Wrestling, I think, last weekend or the weekend before. But Aussie Open's just been throwing some banger of matches, even though they haven't won anything. Mm-hmm. They've had some hellacious matches, which is awesome. I enjoy watching those two. But yeah, we gotta have the Briscoes coming up. So I could see Briscoes versus 2.0. I'd watch that one.
Yeah, that'd be entertaining.
Yeah. I'm all for that. Up next, we've got the All-Atlantic Championship match, a three-way match, because apparently we don't call them triple threats. Orange Cassidy versus Luchasaurus. There we go. Versus Ray Phoenix. Oh, I forgot to mention the backstage segment where Ray says he's feeling confident he's going to become a double champion. And Pac tells him, here's the hammer. Use it. It's your golden ticket. Just think about it. Are we starting to see the downfall of Death Triangle?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
That's why I think the Elite's got to get their titles back. I didn't think so, but now I'm really starting. After the last 2 weeks, I'm convincing myself.
So do you reward them?
No, and I know you and I talked about this last week on the podcast. I personally wouldn't do it from a business standpoint because you're kind of rewarding bad behavior, but I think that's the direction it's going.
It's going to be another finger to Phil. I think that's kind of where TK's going at this point. How many fingers can I throw up at Phil?
what about the way we ended the match with the surprise appearance, but you have Rocky Romero and the Best Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the Best Friends get a lot of guff. And
I'm one of them.
rolling his eyes. The Kentucky Gentleman looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, but
I like Chucky T. And
he can wrestle, but he needs to get in the gym a little bit.
Yeah. And when did he get the nickname the Kentucky Gentleman?
I don't know, because I thought he was sexy Chucky T, and all of a sudden he's the Kentucky Gentleman. I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
That has to be back before they joined in Ring of Honor. I
think that was ROH days.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy Rocky Romero. He's raised some feathers in the past. I know some people don't care for him over here, but I think he's fairly entertaining.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just a option in case you don't want to reward the elite.
Yeah, that's a good option. Towards the end of the match, I want to talk about Jungle Boy launching himself.
Jack Perry.
Okay,
that's what they called him tonight too.
They did
a little bit of both. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I mean. You're just ready for Jack Perry. So
I am.
Anytime I say Jungle Boy, you're going to be like, Jack Perry.
Yep. You are 100% correct.
All right. Can we talk about the fact that Jack launched himself into the giant dinosaur and they crashed through a table and awesome. Jack smacked his face off the side of the table?
Yeah, he had some blood inside his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a fast camera shot, but I thought he had some blood under his lip. So
Yeah, he did not hit where I don't think the table was in the direction he thought it was.
No, he hit that. I mean, he had Luchasaurus with everything he had, so it was a good spot.
He had a 10, 15-foot head, like, running start.
Yeah.
No, when you're 105 pounds, you kind of have to have some force when you're trying to take down a 350 guy.
Easy, Cornette's bigger than 105.
Hey, everybody under 5'6" is 105, okay?
But I like this feud though. Keep going.
I'm at 5'6.5".
So you're 115.
Okay.
So we get back ringside. Pac runs down with the hammer, hands it to Fenix. Fenix throws it back out and eats Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, you knew he was going to win, but it was so entertaining. I mean, I can watch Ray Phoenix work every day.
Yeah.
So fun to watch.
I still think if we put Ray Phoenix, Darby Allin in a match together, just the two of them, no holds barred, anything goes, somebody's going to launch themselves into like the 10th row.
Yep.
Just to say they could.
Yep.
Yeah. They're going to try to top each other. But when do we finally get the end? I'm drawing a blank here. When do we get the end of that feud of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus? Like, what's the end goal?
I mean, you can't play it out till Christian's back, because Christian's going to be out another 7 to 8 months. And I know eventually we got to get Jungle Boy, there it is. Jack Perry, we got to get his revenge on Christian. I get that, but you can't wait that long, can you?
You got to put him over Luchasaurus at some point.
Yeah, full gear.
And then I don't know if you throw him in the All-Atlantic feud, you throw him in the TBS title or the
TNT.
I get it confused with the.
He could probably take on Jade Cargill and put on a better match than what we saw tonight.
Yeah, I hope we skipped that whole segment, right?
Oh my God, that was embarrassing.
But I mean, you got to move him on.
Yeah,
to have a good. I don't know, man. I really think, and this is really going down the rabbit hole. I really think Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks could be a hell of a program.
Where's Ricky been?
I don't know. I think Ricky could be a hell of a heel. Jack's a great face.
Yeah.
Both Ricky can talk a little bit better than Jack, but I think he can learn. Both in-ring performers are great. I think those two guys could really put some asses in the seats, actually. But I know that's a random thought, but
I like it.
I'm good with that.
I'm there for it. I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Post match, of course, Pac is attacking Cassidy as our ref is trying to hand Cassidy both his belt and his contract. Yeah, sure. The dude's getting his head stomped in. Let's just hand him a contract. Here's your contract, buddy. Don't worry about your head.
He signed a medical waiver.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not going to attempt the guy's first name, but Shibata appears alongside the rest of the best friends.
Got a big pop from the crowd.
He did.
Yes.
We haven't seen him since Forbidden Door.
Yeah, where he did the same thing, basically. Pac rolls away to avoid confrontation. Shibata then points at the title. Cassidy hands him the contract for the dream match, making it official for this Friday. I wouldn't call it a dream match.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Paul.
I guess it's Cassidy's dream match.
Yeah, and a lot of people on IWC really like this. I'm not, this is where I get to learn about people when AEW brings guys like this in. Like, I don't get mad like some people do on the IWC. Like, this is stupid. They're bringing people like only the diehards know. I'm fine with that because I get to learn about them. I guess this guy almost died. So this is kind of his return match. I don't know if he's had a match since that. So that's why people are calling it a dream match. And a lot of people were really saying this is a big deal. So I guess I'm excited for it, but yeah. I'm uneducated when it comes to a lot of New Japan guys.
I'd rather see Shibata versus Pac.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
A lot of people are saying we need that match too. So.
Nothing against Pockets.
No, he's not losing that title. So
no,
Pockets has not been bad the last couple of weeks.
No, yeah.
He actually showed some speed right out of the gate. Throwing the shirt actually outside of the ring from the opposite side. Quickly put on his elbow pad, handed off his sunglasses.
The backpack kills me.
Yes. Yeah, it's easier to carry the title.
Mm-hmm.
The title's heavy.
He is a fighting champ. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Up next, Swerve and Our Glory are shown backstage with Rick Ross of all people.
That was so random.
Keith Lee says he hasn't heard from his opponent. He points out the recent times where Strickland has been cheating, and Strickland says he will be honorable. And next week they will do an 8-man tag match as he makes a bid to win over his partner again. He and Ross choke around, and they all end up toasting a drink together. Even
Shivani.
Yeah, I like the avoiding of the, who was holding the camera? Yeah.
I thought Rick Ross was phenomenal in this segment. I thought he was really good.
For a celebrity implant, he was entertaining. He was. Good. You can tell he did not hesitate at all. Like,
we're a great duo.
I could have some more Rick Ross on the mic down the road with Swerve and Our Glory.
Yeah, that was good
or
stuff.
Swerve.
Obviously, Rick Ross and Swerve are working on the music side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not big into that type of music, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it works for them, Rick Ross is awesome.
Oh yeah. After that segment, Jade Cargill wins another match, making her 41-0.
Next. Just keep on going.
And then a video package is shown for the House of Black, with the 3 men being shown in bags as a voice asks if they have given up their faith so quickly. Julia Hart ends up burning, burying, and putting them in water, and glimpses of the 3 resurrecting are shown, with the voice of Malachi Black being heard asking his father for forgiveness.
That was awesome.
Oh man, this
really
was
well done.
Fantastic package. You see one being buried, she blows out the candle. One set adrift, blows out the candle. Lights the fire, blows out. It was great. It was well done. Kind of gives you that feeling that kind of Julia is going to be leading things in a different way, as she went from having the black makeup to just the black contact.
Well, and hopefully whatever this vision is of the House of Black, this repackage is more in line with what Malachi had originally had visioned for it, because that was, I guess, one of his frustrations was creative-wise. He didn't think things were going like he wanted. So I'm excited about it, and that's another team you could throw in a trios mix.
Yeah.
They've got beef with Death Triangle. They got a long history with them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that feud still hasn't officially ended. I mean,
Right.
it has, but it hasn't. So,
right. So no, very well done. I thought it was really good.
And now it's time for our main event.
There's one thing you forgot to cover. Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm video package I thought was really good
I thought it
tonight.
was really good too. Got
and-
personal.
Yeah, I did not know that they were roommates and everything during the pandemic.
It's not in my notes.
So that's all right. So I got you. So that is the interim, which I hate, Women's World Championship match, and I think that's gonna be a really fun match. Really fun match. Jamie Hayter finally getting her shot.
One of the few starts of storylines that we get going into a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was real. That's what they need to do more of.
Yes.
Give us some video packages like this. It made me invested in the story.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you got to get into storylines like even Mox right now. Mox doing a title eliminator, knowing that he's facing MJF. Like, come on, give me some story build. Give me some story build on these tag titles. Give me some story build on the TNT title, the TBS. Just give me some freaking stories, guys.
Right. You're throwing a lot of people on TV, but
yes,
we get not advancing the story.
On the flip side, we get a lot of free matches on TV that should be pay-per-view quality. Okay? Yeah. I get that. I'll take that. But there's still a little bit of a niche that I'm like, man, give me some build. Give me 2-3 weeks. And then let's go to the pay-per-view. And I mean, I don't know if you guys been watching it. Been watching a lot of the Vice TV Tales from the Territory. Those guys used to do builds for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they would do TV weekly and then spot shows 2 times a week, and they would build for 6 months until you get it. Maybe if not a year. Like, God, I'm asking for 2 weeks.
I know.
I know today's are different, but come on. Like, man, I thought ECW back in the day just had some great story builds.
Oh, Paulie is creative genius when it comes to building stories.
If you look at the whole Raven Dreamer thing, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put Sandman in the middle of that out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But that was over 6 months. It wasn't a month. It was 6 months.
Yeah.
Come on, TK. Give me a little build.
Yep.
We have some long-term storytelling, but normally then the build to the match is a couple of weeks.
You would sell some. I think you sell more pay-per-views too if you get a little longer build.
Yeah. All right, main event: Samoa Joe versus Brian Cage for the ROH Television Championship. I knew Joe was going to go over on this. I mean, he's the only person pictured on the final battle poster, and he's holding his championship. He's not losing it tonight.
I still thought Brian Cage looked good, though. That's 2 times in a row against Wardlow and against Joe. I mean, talk about a guy who everybody pretty much wrote off. And then TK's like, no, we're picking up his contract. We're extending it and throw him on ROH. And the last 2 times he's been on Dynamite, he's really produced.
No, I thought for a 275-pound man, great match.
Yeah.
Great match.
Yep.
I know he won the Impact World title against Austin Aries, and that was some controversy after that. But tonight, I thought he looked even better than that, even taking the loss against Joe.
Oh, yeah. It was.
He's got some value. He really does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
At
least we've got a big guy like this. And mind you, he's not being used on TV every week. But at least he's not on TV every week, picking a guy up out of a chair, putting him in a submission, and watching him pass out in 30 seconds.
No, I agree. I don't want that.
You don't want to bring back the Master Lock Challenge?
That guy was on so much. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah. He wants another run somewhere, but good luck.
He does, but he was never mind.
No, I was never a Chris.
No negativity on this show, right?
Oh, we will throw
right.
someone when it's called for.
Yeah.
He's got
Game's
a lot
over,
of
Shep.
skin.
Get off the juice.
Orange juice?
Yeah, orange juice.
Oh.
Pulp free.
All right.
Man, I don't think he was pulp free at all.
Oh, God, no.
Not even close. After the match, the embassy jumps Joe until Wardlow makes his way to the ring. They retreat. However, while Wardlow focuses on them, Powerhouse Hobbs appears, drops the TNT champion with a spine buster, rips his shirt off, standing tall over him to close the show.
I think that's who takes this title off Wardlow.
This quick though?
And why I say that is I know SRS, Sean Ross Sapp Fightful, reported after Double or Nothing when I think it was Double or Nothing, if not All Out. I think it was one of the two pay-per-views. He beat Ricky Starks. It was like a real surprise. He squashed him pretty much.
8 minutes.
Yeah, he reported that Powerhouse Hobbs was in for a huge push, and it never happened. So that's what makes me think now they're going to make it happen. So, just my opinion. And that's a guy, maybe Wardlow loses a little dirty, but Powerhouse Hobbs is still, as his name, a powerhouse. I mean, it's not like Wardlow's losing to a little guy or anything.
I think Powerhouse could be great. I really do. I mean, he looks like $1 million. I've said it a couple times tonight, but he's got the build. Obviously, he needs a little work on the mic.
Oh, he does.
He's young. But I would rather a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs, a guy with his build, take the title off of Wardlow.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
If we're gonna push Wardlow even a step farther,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hey, let's get the belt off Wardlow to Powerhouse, belt off of Mox and MJF. MJF and Wardlow, they got history. Come on.
Yep. I'm already. I mean, I've said it. Take my money. I will be right there for that one.
So
that was actually my prediction. I had my prediction for this year. I had the belt on Wardlow at the end of the year, taking off of MJF. I think I was just a little too far ahead. I think maybe that happens in 2023 sometime. But I like the TNT title being a title that can do what it's supposed to as a mid-card title, or even though they don't want to call it mid-card, elevate a guy to where a level he's too big for the title, take it off him, he's ready to go for the next title. I think that's what they could do with Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
They haven't really done it with Ricky Starks, but that was the FTW title. That's a little different.
Right. And sometimes,
where's Hook? Where's the hell's Hook?
Yeah,
he's on the other shows. I'm sure.
Give me the handsome devil.
Yeah.
You want more Hookhausen? What?
Yeah, Hookhausen didn't really last.
Yes, I think they're entertaining as hell.
Oh, Danhausen's hilarious.
Yes, but they can't decide if he's with Hook or with the best friends. But
they had him lose. I'm sorry to interrupt, Paul. They had him lose
ahead.
a QT the other night on Dark Elevation.
Danhausen? Oh.
All right, I'm over it.
Yeah, that did not make me happy.
No.
Was it a clean match?
No, it wasn't clean, but still.
Oh.
Well, as long as it wasn't clean,
Still.
I feel a little better about it then. But yeah, and sometimes you don't even need to put the former TNT champion into another title picture.
No.
It elevated Darby Allin. I mean,
Right.
Darby was big before he got the belt, don't get me wrong, but it brought him to that next level. And then you put him with Sting, which brought him to another level. He doesn't need a belt to be talked about. Darby Allin is doing fine without gold. Don't put a belt on him, but the TNT title really started helping elevate him like it should.
Yeah, what the problem with TNT was when it was going from Sammy to Sky, back and forth, that whole ordeal with American Top Team stuff, that's where it kind of lost its luster after Cody left to go to W. Because when Cody lost to Sammy, that was one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen. But then after that, it was kind of a cluster. So then finally they have Wardlow take it. Just hadn't done
I
much
think it
with
was just buying time until Wardlow made the full change. They weren't ready for Wardlow yet. So we have to do something until we can get there. So this is what we do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Wrestler of the night, and there are several to pick from tonight.
Samoa Joe.
Tanner?
Trying to think here. That's a good one.
Tanner's going to go with Nyla Rose.
No, I'm not.
He's going to go with Pac.
No, I'm not.
Or Jack Perry.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to go with.
Ooh, Cole Carter. There you go.
No. I'm going to go Colt Cabana.
Dang it.
That was my losing effort.
All right.
I was there with you.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go. I don't know.
You don't have a lot left, Paul.
I know, right? I don't know. I've either got to agree with you guys or go with somebody completely different. Shibata.
Okay.
Without saying a word.
Yeah. Comes out, makes his intentions known, follows the belt up as Cassidy lifts it. I'm interested in finding out more about this guy. So, yeah, I'll give it to him. Overall rating for tonight. I guess we kind of did that backwards, didn't we?
That's all right.
This is why Tanner needs to lead.
Go for it, Tanner.
A lot of surprises tonight. Some better than others. Fast-moving show. The women's stuff was awful in ring tonight. 7-2. 7-2 for me. A little low tonight. 7-2.
Ooh. That's a little low for you.
It is low for me.
There was a women's match. Did we cover that?
I know. It's
commercial.
They covered Bow Wow getting shut down by Jade more than they did the women's match.
Man, I was right with Tanner on the. I'm going 7-1.
Dang, I thought it was gonna be the lowest one tonight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 7-3. That's where I was at.
Oh, what a cop out! What a cop out!
No, that's where I was at to begin with. I kid you not. If I would have gone first, we would have known. No, I mean there was some stuff that could have. I mean, if you just don't have a women's match tonight, it would have been a little disappointing. But I probably would have given it a 7-6, 7-7 at that point.
I've kind of lost my faith in Tony, knowing I just don't think he knows how to book the women anymore.
Well, the second match of the night, Mox and Moriarty was not good.
Yeah.
No, you made your world champion look bad, and I know you won, and it's Mox, but gosh darn it, the highlight of the match is when the stupid Baltimore Ravens walked in.
You're right. That's always bad.
And that might have been bad timing against those guys, and Mox and Moriarty had no call into that, right?
Right.
But you know, Lamar Jackson, those guys were backstage before the match, probably in the Cadian room or the open bar room, and they decided, all right, it's time to go out and watch this stuff, And it just happened to be in that match, and it distracted it, took away from it. But.
And you can tell that's exactly kind of what they thought, because as they pan over the last time, you see security coming around the gate to stand there by them. They didn't know they were on their way.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know.
Unintentional distraction.
Yeah.
I go back to, that was really bad booking for Mox. I think it made him look weak.
Yeah.
This is nothing against Moriarty. I don't want to be negative, but the guy's a nobody.
The next two
hair, blue hair, purple hair, pink hair, stupid hair.
Well,
get him off there.
And I almost guarantee you, even though this would be a good match, but I almost guarantee you Friday Night Rampage they're going to announce Ethan Page versus Mox for Dynamite next week.
No, because Page is in the tournament.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, so we won't see those two.
What tournament? Why do we have a tournament when we already have a match with MJF? Why do we have a tournament? It's stupid.
For winter is coming. It's a future. It's not leading up to this.
MJF and Mox.
No, that's what they need to do the next 2 weeks. Yeah, build those. You can build your elimination tournament. The finals will be at Full Gear, and then the winter coming. Whatever.
Give the twiddlywinks about a freaking eliminator. It's dumb. Sorry.
Give us a longer eliminator tournament, not like here's 8 guys.
This one's
4 matches later, we've announced our winner.
This one's going on for 47 months.
Have you guys noticed how AEW's just disregarded the rankings? They don't even have rankings anymore.
They've even admitted it. Yeah, they've gotten away from them. They don't matter anymore.
We haven't seen it in 3-4 months on television, have we?
No, and they stopped posting them on the socials too. So.
Yeah, they started disappearing. I don't know, around the time a guy left the company for another company. Just saying.
Yeah.
He might have had a hand
in the They didn't follow the rankings anyways. That's what always bothered me about it. Like
Jody is his name, right?
Yeah. Jody Toads.
Runnels.
Jody Bunnells.
Mr. and Mrs. Brandy Runnels.
That's gonna be my creator wrestler on Fight Forever next year.
Yes. Jody Bunnells.
Now I gotta come up with American something. I don't know. I gotta come up with a nickname for him.
The American Sleazebag.
There we go.
American Nap Time.
I could be
itself. Give him the pencil, Tony.
Give me the pencil. I don't have a pen right now. I put it by my fingers.
Okay, I have to call you Sanjay Dutt. So
yeah, well, he's got more hair.
Dutt, good lord, he's awful.
You know, Jeff Jarrett has history with him too, so which is kind of interesting.
Didn't Sanjay Dutt pencil for Jeff Jarrett and GCW
Global Force.
Global Force. Yeah, wasn't Sanjay his pencil there?
I think he was, and then they have the history from TNA, of course.
That's when Jeff Jarrett was selling gold bars.
Yeah, that's it. You were just talking about Cody. He was the champ of Global Force for a little bit.
Cody was?
Hey,
man, I didn't see that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett was selling gold bars, supposed gold bars to invest in this. Whatever.
He's something else. My World will be an interesting episode next week to listen to. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. But we've gone almost an hour and a half. I think it's time to wrap this thing. Tanner, you want to wrap it or you want me to wrap it?
I'll let you take it, Paul. I'll take over duties again next week. You're doing a good job.
All right. Hey, you know what? Be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. And when you're checking out our social media, be sure to check out our 2 different merch stores. You can get some great KOP merch, support a great podcast, and look great doing so. And be sure to listen to the Kicking Out podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, give us that 5-star rating because we are 5-star KOP. And with that, be sure to follow Tanner Lee, our KOP predictions champion, on social media at TannerLee92. Follow Austin Shepard at TheShep27. And be sure to follow myself at Paul Zartman921. Boys, it's been a great time. We'll do this again next week. For Tanner Lee and Austin Shepard, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.